Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Noratika binti Birin. My metric number is 263X74.
Hi, my name is Keshita Naidu, anak perempuan Parati Raju. My matrix number 264593.
Hi, my name is Nokwarato. I'm Betty Shafiazan. My metric number is 264856.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Prof. My name is Nur Jamia binti Taharim. My metric number is 264710.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Shafinas binti Uthman, metric number 264632. So for the strategy audit report, we choose Focus Point Holding Berhad as our company.
Now, I will proceed the presentation with strategic issues, problem or challenges of the selected company, which is Focus Point Holding Berhad. Firstly, in the annual report of Focus Point Holding, we found that there are several issues arises. Firstly, risk in competition. These risks happen when the competitors of Focus Point offering professional eye care products and services. Secondly, economy uncertainty, as the COVID-19 outbreak have been spread around the world early 2020, it had been affected people's activity as well as the business activities, especially in terms of companies' financial and business prospects. Lastly, risk in suppliers. As the company did mention that mostly the products are from the overseas, for example, from France and Italy. This risk happen when the company intensely rely on overseas supplier.
So I'll be discussing on the vision, mission, and also strategy. So for their vision is to become a leading brand name in Asia through their focused approach in vision care. And another one of their vision is to become the nation's favorite F&B brand through their stores, Komugi, which sells desserts. Their mission, on the other hand, is to provide consumers with the best vision care and also eyewear services, as well as to uphold the highest standards in reliability, quality, and also professionalism. The second mission that Focus Point have written in their annual report is to be passionate and committed to bring creativity and exceptional quality to bakery, pastry products that delight the new and loyal customers, and this is again referring to their F&B business, Komugi. So some of the strategic initiatives that Focus Point have taken is to hold virtual convention for branch managers and also eye care practitioners, which is titled Eye Care for You, and this is to give the branch managers and also eye care practitioners more in-depth understanding of eye care. Another one of their initiative is to do workshops on upskilling for all of their staff, webinars and also product training to promote their products better in their outlets. And lastly, our eye care practitioners continuing education program, which Focus Point have encouraged their practitioners to further study in degree or a master's in eye care, and this is so that they could give the best service to their customers. So some of the risk to business and also their mitigation plan starts with their competition risk, because the professional eye care industry has a low entrance barrier, and the rivals range from large multi-chain location and also single location businesses which provide professional eye care. So because of the size of their activities, Focus Point has been able to gain economics of the scale that they are operating. So they are managing to lead the market. They also have a well-known brand and market reputation, hence why they are a Focus Point and they are leading in the market. Another one is economic uncertainty. So this is because of the Malaysian political and also economic regulatory environment, which have a negative impact on their financial and business prospects. And another one of the reasons for this economic uncertainty is the recent COVID-19 pandemic that happened starting in 2020, which is still going on today. So this is why they have such economic uncertainty on their business. So lastly is their supply of eyewear products. So this is where Focus Point's ability to offer a diverse choice of eyewear and prescription lenses, contact lenses, and also sunglasses at a reasonable price for their customers. So there is a plethora of international suppliers for eyewear, So as a result, there is a low chance of a worldwide shortage. This is more of their mitigation plan, because they have a solid relationship with their suppliers, and hence they can always get supply for their eyewear. And with that, we understand their risk to business and also their mitigation plan.
So I will continue with the list of board of the director. The first one is Liao Mingfong. He is the independent non-executive chairman. He was named as a chairman of Focus Point Holdings on 3rd August 2015. He is a former audit partner with KPMG in Kuala Lumpur and as well as a member of MIPA. The second one is a Datuk Liao Chun Liang, was appointed as a Chief Executive Officer on 30 December 2009. He is a Malaysian Optical Council registered optician. He brings with him a tremendous industrial expertise, having worked in the professional eye care business for over 30 years. And the third one is Datin Goh Poi Yong. She is the Executive Director and was appointed to the Board of the Director on 30 December 2009. He is a Malaysian Optical Council registered opticians and have more than 20 years of expertise in the field. Next is Datin Sim Siu Yok. She is a non-executive independent director and she also a chair in the Audit and Remuneration Committee and is a member of the Nomination Committee. Datin Sim is a human resource professional with about 37 years of commercial experience in the area of estate and hospitality. The last one is Datuk Mat Zubir, was a member of the Audit Committee, Nomination Committee and also Remuneration Committee. Datuk Mat Zubir has over 30 years of strategic finance and management expertise in a variety of industry, including aviation, air cargo, logistics, financial service and information.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nawqarato and British Fiazan. My metric number is 264856. So now I will continue to the next part of this presentation, which is regarding on the organizational structure of Focus Point Holdings Berhad. So if you look on the organizational structure of the group, they actually implement divisional structure because they divide the structure based on the subsidiaries under the company. So there are a total of 5 subsidiaries which comprise of Sound Point Hearing Solutions Sdn Bhd, Focus Point Management Sdn Bhd, Excel View Laser Eye Center Sdn Bhd, Multiple Rewards Sdn Bhd, and the last one is Focus Point Vision Care Group Sdn Bhd. So there are another 2 subsidiaries under Focus Point Vision Care Group Sdn Bhd, which are Spirit Shopee Sdn Bhd and Radiant Attractions Sdn Bhd, and also one associate company where the company holds 35% of shares, which is Focus Point Vision Care Group HP Sdn Bhd. So all of these subsidiaries, they actually come from different industries that comprise of operation in professional eye care services, medical eye care services, hearing aid services, franchise business, and they also subsidiaries for food and beverages services. So all of these subsidiaries, they have their own management team that will manage each subsidiaries, and the parent company will be responsible to monitor the performance in each subsidiaries. So this type of structure, they able to help the company to manage all of the subsidiaries at the same time. But there also some disadvantage for this type of structure because this type of structure can incur high costs because all of the subsidiaries, they have their own management team. This means that the company need to find employees in each subsidiary, so they could incur high costs to pay all of these employees. And they also disadvantage which could incur rivalry between the subsidiaries because all of the subsidiaries, they may want to appear they are performing better than the other subsidiaries so they can get more resources from the parent company. And also, the strategic direction of the subsidiaries may be different from the strategic direction of the company. This is because, as we all know, Focus Point, their main operation is regarding on the eye care services and also eyewear product. So because of these subsidiaries come from different industries, so the strategic direction in each subsidiaries may be different from the strategic direction of the company. However, if we look at the organizational structure of the parent company only, they actually implement functional structure. This is because they divide the structure based on the expertise of the employees. So if we look in this slide, the structure is led by the BOD, and the CEO will become the middle person between the management team and also the BOD. This means that the CEO will report regarding on the management matters to the board of directors, and the CEO also will implement instruction by the BOD into the management team. So under the management team, there are chief financial officer that will manage regarding on the financial matters of the company, and also head of retail sales and operation that will manage any matters that related to retail sales and operation. The advantage of this type of structure, the employees are given tasks based on their expertise. This means that the quality of their work is much better because they did the work under their expertise. But there is disadvantage whenever the company want to do cross-functional activity because different in expertise between the employees. So for example, if the employees under the retail sales and operation are given tasks regarding on the financial matter, the employees may face difficulties because it is not under their expertise. And that's all for the organizational structure. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Ratika binti Birin. My metric number is 263874. So I will present for financial analysis. So as you can see at the table, we compare 3 years for financial analysis, which is 2018, 2019 and 2020. So first, current ratio. Current ratio, it is help company to know that the current asset are sufficient or not to pay debt due within a year. So we can see that the current ratio in 3 years are greater than 1, so that is considered good, even though we can see in year 2018 the current ratio will decrease from 1.43 to 1.02, but in 2020 the current ratio are start increase. So we go to the next quick ratio. Quick ratio helps to determine whether a company has enough current asset to cover their liabilities without needing to sell their inventories or getting an additional financing. So we can see that the quick ratio are lower than 1 from 2018 until 2020. We show that the companies will not be able to cover their short-term obligation without selling their inventories, because from 2018 until 2020 the quick ratio are lower than 1. Next, debt to asset ratio. Debt to asset ratio is measure of company's debt to its total asset. The ratio suggests that lower is better because the company is more stable and has lower overall debt. By comparing 3 years, they show that the debt ratio of Focus Point Holding Berhad decreased from the previous year. This clearly shows that the company has positive financial growth and is also known as a conservative company. This is because their total assets are higher than their liabilities, and this shows that the companies can cover their debt using this asset. Next, we go to debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity ratio helps to know whether the capital structure of company is financed by equity or debt more. Based on the trends of debt to the equity ratio, for Focus Point Holding Berhad, this ratio increased from 1.24 in 2018 to 2.40 in 2019 and drop again to 1.81 in 2020. Additionally, based on the amount of the ratio for all 3 years, we can say that the company is debt financed, as in all 3 years the company has high amount of the ratio, and the total liabilities in 2018 until 2020 also more than the equity. Next ratio, return on asset, which is ROA. So ROA is to measure how much a company can convert money spent on asset converted into profit for the company. We can see at the table it show an increase in ROA every year. This means that the company is doing a good job of increasing the income for every RM invested for the purchase of asset. We can see the ROA in year 2018 from 0.0465 increase to 0.0553 in year 2020. Next ratio, net profit margin. Net profit margin will measure on how many percent of profit that the company generate based on their total revenue. Based on the calculation, we can see that the ratio keeps increasing from year 2018 until year 2020, which is from 3.96% in year 2018 to 5.18% in year 2019 and to 6.66% in year 2020. In year 2020, the ratio has increased up to 6.66%. This means that in year 2020, the company has RM 0.07 net profit in every RM1 of revenue. Next ratio, I will pass to my friend to continue explain. Thank you.
Alright, thank you Ika. So now I will continue to the next ratio, which is on the inventory turnover ratio. So this type of ratio will look on how well does the company able to turn their inventory into sales. So if we look the performance on this ratio from 2018 until 2020, the ratio keep decreasing, which means that the company not able to maintain their performance in turning the inventory into sales, which indicates that there is less efficient by the company in using their asset to generate sales. However, for the total asset turnover ratio, there is unstable trend during the 3 years where from 2018 until 2019, the ratio increased from 3.93 to 4.03 and decreased again in 2020 to 3.55, which is the lowest amount between all the 3 years. But because the amount of this ratio is still high, this shows that for the total asset turnover ratio, the company is still able to generate high amount of revenue in each dollar of their asset. Next, for the gearing ratio, the worst performance for this ratio by the company is at 2018 because the ratio exceeds 50%, which indicates that there is financial risk for the company during 2018. So if the company failed to get high profit and face high interest rate during that year, they could expose to loan default and also could lead to bankruptcy. But however, the company managed to improve their performance in this ratio during 2019 and also 2020 because the ratio is higher than 25% and also lower than 50%, which indicates that they are at the optimal position for a well-established company. And also for the return on equity, the lowest amount is at 2018, which is only for 12%. Which indicates that there are only 12% of return on equity during that year, but the performance on this ratio increased during 2019, which indicates there is higher return on equity during 2019 and also 2020 because the company managed to maintain the same percentage during 2019 to 2020. And the last ratio is on the earning per share. So as we can see, the performance in this ratio, the company has the lowest amount in 2020, which indicates that in that year, the company has less profitability compared to the other year. So now I pass to the next presenter for the VRIO framework.
So, I will continue to the first value analysis framework, which is value. So, a resource must produce a strength for the organization in respect to other organizations to be valuable. In terms of value, Focus Point Holding Berhad has a good competitive advantage. As from the annual reports, it details that Focus Point always had a better process. While in terms of supplier, they will ensure that they had a good relationship with suppliers to build a stronger supply chains, which is easier for Focus Point to find the material. Focus Point Holding Berhad is a well-known branding and had its own reputations in the opticals industry. The value is enhanced with the trained and skilled employees, plus with the strategic locations of each outlet. As for the rareness, a resource is rare if the rivals cannot readily acquire it on the open market, or if there is a restricted amount of that resource and the company owns most of it. So from the rareness perspective, Focus Point Holding Berhad are not in the competitive advantage as there are several optical stores in the market. Aside, some of the company and store outlet offer the same product as what they serve. However, since Focus Point is the main market in the industry, they might have that readiness as they are the dominant company in the optical.
Now for the next component for Brio analysis framework is on the imitability. So for this component, we want to see whether the competitors of Focus Point can imitate the resource capabilities and also the core competencies of the company. There are three elements that we will refer to for this component, which are the transparency, transferability, and also the last one is on the replicability. So for the first element, which on the transparency, we want to see whether the competitors of Focus Point can understand the relationship between the resources and capabilities of the company with the firm strategy. So since the Focus Point, they did not create their own technology, but instead they bought the technology from other company. So this means that the competitors can easily have access regarding on the information on technology that are used by Focus Point and relate it with the firm mission and objective. And for the second element, which is on the transferability, so this element we want to see whether the competitors of the Focus Point can easily gather the resource and capabilities that are used by the company. So for Focus Point, they did not manufacture their own product and also create their own technology. So this means that the competitors of their company can easily gather the resource and capabilities that are used by the company. And the last element is on the replicability. So in this element, we want to see whether the competitors of Focus Point can duplicate the resource and capabilities that are used by Focus Point to apply in their own company and achieve the same result as Focus Point. So since Focus Point, they did not manufacture their own product or create their own technologies, so it's very easy for their competitors to duplicate the resource and capabilities that are used by Focus Point. The competitors only need to buy the same technology and product from the same supplier for them to achieve the same result as Focus Point. But the only difference with the competitors is they would require a high amount of money to buy the same product and also the same technologies that are used by Focus Point. So from this, we can conclude that under this component, the company did not have sustainable competitive advantage for the imitability.
Hi, I will present for part organization. First, a corporation will be at disadvantage if it is not organized to capture the value from its resources. Second, example for organizational components is company formal reporting structure, strategic planning and budgeting system, management control system, and composition policies. Third, a company's management process, procedure, policies, organizational structure, and culture must be organized to fully use the potential of its valuable, rare, and costly to imitate resources and capabilities. Business will be only be able to maintain competitive advantage if this happens. Brio framework. So as you can see for the table, we have financial resources and brand awareness. So I will present for financial resources and brand awareness. So for financial resources for value, yes, it still have its own value even after pandemic COVID-19. So for brand awareness value, yes, Focus Point always organize awareness through their websites. Next for awareness is for financial resources, no, other optical company also have a good financial position. For brand awareness readiness, yes, Focus Point is one of the top leading company in the industry. For imitability, for financial resources, yes, all of the competitors have access to financial mechanism and market liquidity. Brand awareness for imitability, no, many businesses conduct brand awareness campaign in order to raise brand recognition. Organization for financial resources, yes, the organization has a financial position section. Brand awareness for organization, yes, in a variety of markets, Focus Point Holding Berhad has taken use of its dominating brand position. So for competitive consequence, both which is financial resources and brand awareness is temporary competitive advantage. And also for performance implication, for financial resources and brand awareness is above average to average returns. Thank you. For the next part, my members will continue.
So for the next factor is on the customer base. Yes, focus point customer involved in the product development. For the value, no, different organizations have their own strategies for developing unique relationship with their customer, not only limited to focus point. For imitability, no, because focus point product can be easily copied by other company. And for the organization, no, because focus point provide a platform for their customer to report and fix defects in their goods and services. So the competitive consequences for this factor is the competitive parity, and the formal implication is the average returns. And the last factors is on the global and local presence. For the value, yes, focus point diversify revenues and keep the company's balance sheet out of the business cycle. For the rareness, no, because there are many other business that exist in the both international and local levels, not only the focus point. For the imitability, yes, focus point easy to be imitated by the competitors. And for the organization, yes, focus point has the resources and capabilities to open outlet worldwide. So for the competitive consequences on these factors is temporary competitive advantage, and the formal implication is above average to average returns. So now I pass to the next presenter to explain regarding on the step analysis.
So we will continue to the first component in the STEP analysis, which is social cultural. In focus point holding Berhad, one method for developing and retaining talent is to have a multicultural workplace with equal opportunities, without look at the age, ethnic, or also gender. So focus point holding Berhad recognize that workers are the driving force behind their company. So the workplace environment's aim is to provide a very inclusive and cooperative work culture so that they can focus on their performance. They also urge employees to attain their full potentials and to have a rewarding and meaningful career. In terms of relationships with supplier, focus point holding Berhad relies on the foreign suppliers for exclusive and non-exclusive brands of eyeglasses and eye care items. So any disruption in the supply of eyeglasses and eye care items will have a negative impact on the store operations and as a result to their profitability. So having good relations with current trusted supplier as well as continuous sourcing of new supplier will assist to alleviate the supply scarcity issue.
The next element for the STEAM analysis is on the technological aspect. So for focus point Sdn Bhd, their technology are mainly related to eye care services, which is one of their main business activities. But they also focus on technology in other industries that related to their subsidiaries, for example, such as technology that related to food and beverages, and also technology for hearing aid services. For focus point holding Sdn Bhd, technology are very important for them to strive in the market. Even in their website, they stated that technology and innovation are one of the important factors for them to add their values and enhance their services and also to increase their competitiveness. There are three technologies that are used by focus point holding Bhd. The first one is the Eye Terminal 2 by Zeiss. So this technology, it helps the company to find the perfectly fitted eyewear for their customer. This technology will help to collect and measure the customer particular parameter, and which could result in lower complaint rate, fewer non-adapt, and also more relaxed vision for the customer. This technology is much faster than manual procedure and also have high accuracy rate at 80%. The next technology is the Eye Profiler Plus by Zeiss. So this technology will help the company to assess their customer condition and find the perfectly fitted eyewear for their customer. And the last technology is the Astellar Cutting Edge technology, where in this technology, it helps the company to achieve optimal visual clarity by correcting, enhancing, and protecting their customer eyesight. Next, for the technology that are used in the subsidiaries of Focus Point Holdings Berhad, The first subsidiary company, which is at View Laser Eye Centre Sdn Bhd, they are a subsidiary company that perform eye procedures such as LASIK and also cataract surgery. So in this company, they use technology that is approved by FDA to perform their eye procedure. And the next subsidiary company is the Multiple Rewards Sdn Bhd. They are actually a subsidiary company that provide bakery, Japanese bakery and pastry products, where in this company, they use mobile app, which is the first Japanese bakery to use mobile app in Malaysia for their customer to make their order anytime, also anywhere. And also the company use websites such as focuspoint.com that will focus on the eyewear product, excelview.com focus on medical eye care services, and the last one komugi.com focus on bakery and pastry product. So all of the websites are managed by their respective subsidiary, and Focus Point also have their own Facebook, Instagram and YouTube where they usually post regarding on the eyewear maintenance.
Important element in the STIP analysis is actually economics. So basically when we come to economics, we talk about the GDP trends. And in the year 2020 that we are doing the case study on, the GDP trend in Malaysia had a negative trending, so hence affected Focus Point in a way that they couldn't really get a high financial perspective. And then another thing is their inflation rate. So basically in the year 2022, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a high inflation, less spending by consumers, and this is because consumers were more focused on basic necessities like groceries and so on to survive throughout the long MCOs. So there wasn't much spending on things like eyewear and so on, which is caused by the high inflation rate. So another thing for economics is the disposable income. So as the economic situation gets better, the consumers have more disposable income and start investing on themselves. So this is towards the end of the 2020. This is because of the fact that the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic got better, so they have more people start going back to work, so they have more disposable income to spend on eyewear and eye care.
So next is environment. Environmental Performance Index, which is EPI. EPIs which rank system across the country based on how well they protect ecosystem and human health from environmental threats rather than focusing on pressing environmental issue. Malaysia's EPI score is 47.9% in years 2020. Malaysia has improved its score by 4.4% during the last 10 years. Ecosystem fluctuation are the most typical change. The good revision in the EPI show that Malaysia is always willing to respond to calls for more targeted and action-oriented environmental policies. Next, point 2, the National Environmental Policy, which is DASN. The group at Focus Point Holding Berhad is consistent in its commitment to sustainable development and aims to operate in a way that minimizes environmental risks. So for next, point 3 is initiative to minimize electricity usage. The company has implemented several initiatives to reduce electricity consumption, including the use of LEDs for lighting to reduce overall energy consumption. The same can be said about stationery and office paper, which may be reused and recycled. To limit environmental effect, they also emphasize electronic alternatives to distribute and store papers. They also examine the quantity of water consumed by turning off the light and air conditioner when they are not in use.
Lastly, for the STIP analysis is politics. Politics is described as the legal aspects that affect Focus Point's business and how the government intervenes in the optical retail industry. Firstly, Focus Point presents a powerful position against bribery and corruption in their operations. Secondly, Focus Point have been followed the ethical norms and regulation established by Malaysian government legislation. This is where companies have been following the MCO regulation requirement. Lastly, as the pandemic have affected the business management, Focus Point have created work from home policy, which is to assist the groups continuing their activities.
So for the Porter 5 forces, we are looking at the competition in the industry. So the competition in the industry has a high barrier, but there is still a large amount of competitors trying to penetrate the optical industry due to the increase in eyewear in fashion and also daily use. So this makes the barrier quite low, but it's still considered difficult because the fact that the new entries demand high capitals from this new entrants, because the business is not easy to handle, because eyewear and eye care usually is a bit more pricier, so needs more capital. So another thing is that it takes a long time to create awareness for the brand, something like focus point, and to build a strong and positive brand image, similar to how Focus Point has built their brand image throughout the years and has become a leader in the market.
The second forces of Porter is potential of new entrants. The potential of new entrants to the industry is very high. There is a possibility which a new company that is more professional about eye care will enter the optical market and offer their product and services to the customers. Also, obstacles to entry into the market are where the focus point have 100 outlets and 16 Woosh outlets. In addition, they also have many franchise around Malaysia and also overseas, for example in Brunei.
Power of suppliers. First, in the optical industry, supplier bargaining strength is limited. The optical business primarily manufacture lens, spectacle frames, and even optometry. Various lens and frames for eyewear supplier are available under the supplier product availability area. Second, Focus Point Holding Berhad, on the other hand, has created a strong network of supplier and vendor based on honesty, trust, and dependability. Third, periodic evaluations are carried out to guarantee that the quality of the product and service meet the company's criteria and standards. Fourth, as a result, they've been able to maintain long-term partnership with current supplier. Fifth, new supplier must ensure that their product and service meet the same high quality standards as Focus Point Holding Berhad's consumers. This industry has a low amount of input differentiation. The lens and frame provided by different suppliers are not well differentiated. In terms of optometric requirement, industry member exchange costs are low. Thank you.
The next component is the power of customer. So for this component, we will see on how customer can pressure the company and how the price change can affect the customer. So customer will have high bargaining power if there is many options available for them in the market, but they will have low bargaining power if the product is unique or they only buy a small amount of the product. So for Focus Point Holding Berhad, the bargaining power of customer is high because in Malaysia alone, there are many players in the industry, which means that the company has many competitors. So the competitors of the company comprise of retail businesses, small and independent outlet that also provide eye care services. So however, despite of the high competition in the market, Focus Point, they are the market leader, which means that they have more advantages compared to other business industry. There are no competitors that we can say can be direct rival to the Focus Point Holding Berhad, which means that even though the bargaining power of customer is high for Focus Point, consumer would prefer their product because they produce high quality product compared to their competitors.
Last one is the threat of substitute products that Focus Point faces are when the laser vision correction surgery is becoming increasingly popular. So this is because when pupils have their laser treatments, the demand for eyewear will decrease. However, Focus Point principally engage in the operations of specialized eye care service, not only providing the eyewear like spectacles and contact lens, but the group also established the Excel View Laser Eye Center in Mid Valley Mega Malls to provide a private ophthalmology and optometry treatment services. So the main area include LASIK surgery and also cataract removal surgeries, as well as intraocular lens implementation. Next, I will continue with focus point strength, which is the first one. They are the market leader of the optical sector in Malaysia. Focus Point were one of the first vision care companies to promote the necessity of eye checks and had urged their customers to visit retail locations for eye tests on a yearly basis. So the essential components of the group visions and strategies are to preserve their leading opticals brand names in the business, include offering the greatest eye care and eyewear services. Second strength is they are good experience in a franchising industry. In 2020, they had opened 4 new locations, including 1 franchise locations. While considered 7 underperforming locations, they also have developed 116 own outlet, including 100 Focus Point outlet and 16 Bush outlet. This shows that Focus Points had a wide experience in the franchising industry. For the third strength is their outlet are strategically placed. Majority of the outlet are placed in a focus and strategic areas such as shopping mall. So in addition, the outlet that are opens are usually near the residential area, which are easy for the customers to visit the outlet. With the opening of outlet in this area, not only attract customers but also facilitate customer. And the last strength is they serve the high quality opticals and food products. As for the food and beverage divisions, all their goods are halal certified and meet the Malaysian standards and halal menu certifications by JAKIM. So the International Halal Committee also had been formed with the objective of ensuring that foods produced are managed and processed in a sanitary and secure environments. A team of professionals and dedicated chefs bakes the pastry every day to ensure that their loyal customer receive only the freshest
So
item.
for the weaknesses in the SWOT analysis for Focus Point, there is an increase in competition among eyewear brands. So this is because there is an increasing number of new competitors from other countries entering into Malaysia, trying to set up their brand of eyewear and eye care. Another weakness is that there is a low profit margin from Focus Point. So this is because Focus Point does not have a high profit margin for their products due to their already expensive nature of eyewear. So as we know, Focus Point has a lot of branded sunglasses, glasses and frames. So to make the eyewear and accessible to their customers, they have reduced their profit margin so that it's still affordable for their consumers, yet they still get income and revenue, but it's a slightly lower margin. So one of the third weaknesses that Focus Point has is the competitive prices. So because this is led because of more competitors which have cheaper prices, and Focus Point has among the high price range. This is because they have branded items, so it will be about higher price range compared to other competitors out there who does not sell branded eyewear.
Opportunities. For first point is investing in high-end overseas markets. Potential to invest in high-end international marketplace. Because of its strong financial position, the company is well positioned to increase revenue by expanding its operation. Due to the company's strong requirement to attract many investors to be involved in the franchising scheme that is ideal for the company's business style and mode of operation. Second point is develop a fresh business concept. Opportunities that serve to promote and advance cross-selling of the company's many products. With a focus on advanced technology and innovation, the company should remodel and strengthen its end-to-end platform, which is critical for making wise decisions that impact the company's bottom line, profit margin, and overall cash flow. So, for third point is vision is based on managed business expansion. Make it easier for the firm to expand and make it franchise more presentable than its competitors. The alternative possible is based on company strategy, which is centered on regulated corporate growth.
Lastly, for the SWOT analysis is threats. The threats that Focus Point face are, firstly, the competition risk in professional eye care. As I mentioned before, there is a possibility which a new company that is more professional about eye care will enter the industry. Secondly, intensely depend on overseas source. This will threaten the company even more as Focus Point only have single supplier. Next, the pandemic COVID-19 have brought impact to the revenue on the existing outlets, as during MCO, mostly people are not going to the outlet. Lastly, low barriers of entry. To enter the market, new company does not imply a high cost.
Therefore, for this trend, we can conclude that the reason why the company become a market leader in this industry is because they have a good strategy such as by using social media to attract customers and offer a high quality services. And also because the company selling a high quality optical and food product, this has become one of the reason why the company has many loyal customers. As for the weakness, because there is increase in demand for eyewear product, Focus Point may not be able to meet all of the demand in the market because there is high competition in the market. This could be this demand that are not able to be fulfilled by Focus Point will become opportunity for other competitors. And also because the company sell high quality product, their product might be expensive to some people, and also to sell the product will incur high cost to the company. Besides that, for the opportunity, because the company have franchise business, this means that they can attract more investors for their franchise business. And also because of the subsidiaries in the company come from various industry, this means that the company have market intelligence to develop fresh business concept for them to meet various market demand. And the company also have the opportunity to expand their business for them to achieve their company's vision. And lastly, for the threats, since there are many players in industry, this shows that the company has high competition. They could threat that someone or another company could take a focus point position in the market as the market leader. And there also no strict regulation for anyone to enter the industry, which why the competition in the industry is very high. And because focus point they have high dependence on overseas supplier, this could be a delay in their business operation if the supplier face any problem.
So for the IFAS table, we have the internal factors, weight, rating, weighted score, and comments. So for the strength, we have the market leader of the optical sector in Malaysia, which doesn't have much weight. Their rating is 5, and then the weighted score is 1. So the comment on this is that they have been the first in the industry in Malaysia, hence that's why they have a lead in the market. Another strength is they good experience in the franchising industry. So this is because there is a wide reach through intensive advertising and also sales operation that Focus Point has carried out to make sure that their brand has a good reputation within the country itself. Another strength is that the outlets are strategically placed, and this is usually because the stores are located in populated places like malls, high density populated places. And so this is why people, when they see Focus Point, they lead to Focus Point immediately because they are at popular places, easy accessible places as well. So the last strength here is that it serves a high quality optical and food regarding to their business community, and they serve high quality is because there is an increasing demand for quality eyewear. So basically, glasses, we wear them for a very long time, we will spend a lot of money on it. So Focus Point has realized this and taken into opportunity that having a quality product is important to their business. So for the IFAS table, we have then the weaknesses. So for the weaknesses, there is an increase in competition in eyewear brands, and this is because there is a slightly easier penetration into the optical market by the competitors. Another one is the competitive prices, because it makes it a weaknesses for Focus Point because they sell only authentic and also branded products, so they cannot lower the price anymore and compete with their other competitors. And last but not least, their weakness is having a low profit margin. So this is because they've done this low profit margin in order to allow products to still be affordable and accessible to all their potential customers. So this is for the IFAS table. The total score led up, the weighted score led up to 4.45. So as we can see, this is the IFAS table.
Next is IFAS. The first opportunities is investing in high-end international marketplaces The weight of this opportunity is 0.2, the rating is 5.0, and the weighted score is 1. This will attract many international investors. Second opportunity is develop a fresh business concept that meets a variety of market demands. The weight of this opportunity is 0.1 and the rating is 4.5. The weighted score is 0.45. The opportunity will bring the development of new business model. The third opportunity is managed business expansion. The weight is 0.1 and the rating is 4.0. So the weighted score is 0.4. This opportunity expanding the franchise to be more presentable. Next is tracks. The first track is competition risk in professional eye care. The weight is 0.1 and the rating is 5.0. The weighted score is 0.5. The comment for this track is from professional in the eye care industry. Second track is low barriers of entry. The weight is 0.1 and the rating is 4. For the weighted score 0.4 and the comment is low cost entering the segment. The third track is pandemic COVID-19. The weight is 0.2 and the rating is 5. The weighted score is 1. It is because affect the financial and business prospect. And lastly, intensely depend on overseas sources. The weight is 0.2 and the rating is 4.5. The weighted score 0.9. This A will bring the risky in the supply of the product. So for the total weighted score is 4.65. Now we will proceed to the S5 table, which is the first is the strength, market leader of the optical sector in Malaysia, and the weight we take from the I5 table, which is the weight is 0.2. The rating is 5 and the weighted score is 1. The duration of this strength is long and the comments of this strength is have been the first in the industry in Malaysia. Second also is strength, which is good experience in the franchising industry, which the weight is 0.2, the rating is 4.5, and the weighted score is 0.9. And the duration is also long, and the comment is wide reach through intensive advertising and sales operations. Next is for the weakness, which is increase in competition among eyewear brands. The weight is 0.1 and the rating is 4. The weighted score is 0.4. Also in this weakness, the duration is long. The comments for the weakness is easy penetration into the optical market by competitors. Next is the opportunities, which is investing in high-end international marketplaces. The weight is 0.2, the rating is 5, and the weighted score is 1. Also in this opportunity, the duration is long and the comment is attract many international investors. Next is tracks, which is pandemic COVID-19. For this track, the weight is 0.1, the rating is 5, and the weighted score is 0.5. The duration for this track is intermediate and long. This is because it affects the financial and business prospects. And lastly is the tracks, which is intensely dependent on overseas sources. The weight for this track is 0.2, the rating is 4.5, and the weighted score is 0.9. For this track's duration is intermediate because it is risky in the supplier of the product. The total weighted score for this S5 is 4.7.
Now I will continue with the first part of the TAOS analysis. So the TAOS analysis is the strategies that we suggested to the company based on the strength, weakness, and also opportunities that has been explained before. So there are two types of strategies, which is SO strategies that was taken based on the strength and opportunities of the company, and next is the WO strategies that was taken based on the weakness and also the opportunities of the company. The first SO strategies that we suggested is the company can need to open more franchise overseas to expand their business globally and also increase revenue of the company. These strategies was taken based on strength number 2 and also the opportunity number 1. The next strategy is to increase uniqueness in the product offered by developing an innovative product for the company to achieve competitive advantage. So these strategies was taken based on the strength number 4 and also the opportunity number 2. The next strategy is to venture into new market or new business segment to expand their business further. This strategy was taken based on the strength number 3 and also the opportunity number 3. Next, for the WO strategies, the first strategy is to venture into a new type of business for them to increase revenue of the company. These strategies was taken based on weakness number 3, opportunity number 1, and also number 3. The next strategy is to create an exclusive styles of eyewear that have many useful features to produce a product that are different from other competitors. This strategy was taken based on the weakness number 1 and also opportunity number 1 and number 3. And for the WO strategies number 3 is to open a franchise in low-cost countries such as countries that can give a lower rental cost to help reduce overall cost of the company and also increase profit of the company. So this was taken based on the weakness number 3 and also opportunities number 1. Now I will pass to my friend to present the second part of the TOWS analysis.
Next, we continue the TOWS analysis. For the strength and opportunities, the fourth is open a new type of business or acquire another business and open franchise for the new business. Lastly, open more outlets locally to make it easier for the customers to have access to the company's products and services and avoid the customer from searching for another brand. And for the weakness opportunities, develop a new type of eyewear that would not need expensive materials and set a reasonable price for the eyewear. Next, we will continue to the strength and the threats. First is the keep improving the good quality of professional eye care services. Second, increase product awareness. Third, continuous sourcing more suppliers that can provide a good quality of products. And lastly, follow SOP strictly in the operation. And lastly, for the weakness threats, first, reduce track of competition by providing great customer service. And lastly, set competitive pricing which offers more affordable pricing to the customers.
For the strategy formulation and also implementation, so basically what Focus Point can do is open franchise overseas to expand their business globally. So this is where they could potentially collaborate with eyewear companies overseas and launch Focus Point as a brand overseas in the later stages after they have already collaborated with overseas local eyewear companies. Another thing is that they could provide better customer service. So this is a good direction that Focus Point could take by improving their service and get more professional to assist customers. So customers, when they walk in, they trust the eyewear practitioners that because they are professionals, so we trust them with our important vision. The third strategy formulation, also implementation, is to collab with local artists and influencers. So this is in order to help the artists indirectly and also help Focus Point to increase their brand image and recognition among locals in Malaysia. When these local artists collaborate, make maybe a selection of glasses or eyewear, and this will help Focus Point in the long run. Last but not least is to develop new eyewear technology that costs less. So Focus Point could create a cheaper alternative to eyewear which could be accessible for more people from different backgrounds. So this is maybe a more weight heavy approach that Focus Point could take, where they spend more on research and development for Focus Point themselves by creating their own brand of eyewear and coming up with their own technology to maybe benefit a lot more people in the future. So that is all for the strategy formulation and also implementation.
For the conclusion, it can be concluded that Focus Point Holding Berhad currently faces many issues such as competition risk, low barriers of entry, pandemic COVID-19, and the supplier. In order to tackle all these issues, there are several suggestion strategies that Focus Point Holding Berhad can follow, which are open franchise overseas to expand the business globally, provide better customer service, collab with local artists and influencers, and develop new eyewear technology that costs less. That's all from our group. Thank you.